What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. In Helldivers 2, a large portion of the endgame essentially revolves around you farming copious amounts of requisitions, warband medals, and to a degree super credits. You need huge amounts of these to essentially unlock all of the stratagems and different armor sets and weapons so that you have all of these things available to you to tackle the endgame proper. In this video, I will share with you a method that I use to solo farm all of these at the highest difficulty tier, which you can do super fast and easily replicate, and that is going to help you to unlock everything that your heart desires in terms of stratagems, armor, and weapons. Let's go. So if we tackle Loadout first, in terms of our primary weapon, I think any weapon really here works because we're not going to be focusing on gunfighting that much, but you do want to be able to defend yourself if you get into a pickle or you have to shoot something that is pushing you in a specific area. So absolutely, the breaker shotgun is and will continue to be a super strong choice. I don't see them changing this anytime soon. Hopefully they bring some of the other weapons up, but this breaker shotgun absolutely puts in the work, and that should absolutely be the gun that's in your primary. In secondary, I like the Senator, which is the Magnum pistol. It is a really strong choice. Of course, again, any other weapon will be okay here. A lot of people don't even use their sidearms, so that's okay. And then when it comes to your grenade choice, really the two endgame choices when it's grenades is a normal high explosive grenade or a impact grenade. The difference between the two being that an impact grenade explodes immediately when it hits, whereas the normal grenade, as I guess you can call it, basically has a timer, a fuse timer that explodes after a while. Now, usually I would always tell people to run impacts. They're just far more versatile in terms of like exploding immediately when they hit something, which is really good and can help you deal with bugs that are pushing your face, and you can just throw them with a grenade in the face. But in the case of us trying to blow up nests, which is the major focus of this method, you want to be using normal high explosives because impact grenades can be a bit iffy, be a bit stinky, trying to get them just into the hole just to explode it, whereas normal grenades are easy to just lob them into the hole and they kind of just fall in there and explode. You can, however, practice and become better with impact grenades, but again, like I said, that might take a little bit of time, so just, go with the classic. Next up is your choice in armor, and this absolutely matters. You need to be going for light armor because you want to be as fast as possible and you want to regain your stamina as fast as possible. We're going to be giving ourselves methods to survive damage in the way of like our passive as well as the shield belt. So in terms of our armor rating, which in any case is at the moment right now still bugged as for the recording of this video, you need to be focusing on speed, and that's where Scout comes in. Now when it comes to the armor passive, servo assisted with the further throw distance is cool. I like it. Scout is also really cool if you want to be more like a little bit of a ninja, and absolutely speed is of the essence in this method if you want to be efficient, and also trying to stay out of trouble should also be a focus. But medkit is also ridiculously good here because this is a fully survivable option and basically gives you 2 more medkits as well as makes them last longer when the medkit's activating and staying on you and healing you, and that in combination with the shield belt is really going to turn you into a tank even though you're running light armor. Then moving us on to stratagems, in the first slot we should be using the grenade launcher. The main thing we're doing in this farming method is blowing up bug holes. That's the objective, and this is another way for you to do that alongside the grenades that you're already carrying. We also want to be bringing in a shield belt because that in combination with the survivability options that we have in our passive already is going to make us super tanky, and it's going to help us in situations where we are surrounded by a bunch of bugs that are trying to kill us and we're trying to close out those last couple of holes. The last 2 stratagems should be your strike stratagems, in other words, the ones that you use to also close bug holes with. Now, I think it's dealer's choice here. If you're someone that's super partial to using something like the laser does work, and when it sweeps across a bug hole, it can actually close them up. We have enough ammo and stuff on us in our grenades and our grenade launcher to kill all the bug holes we require. We just need these stratagems to make it go faster because faster means more efficient, which means more materials and so forth. You get it. So airstrike is good here, cluster strike is good here, orbital strike is good here. Basically take some of these ones that give you a very precise way to introduce damage to it. Don't take like the 380 or something like that because that just spreads fucking shots all over the place and could very easily also end up killing you as you are running around trying to avoid enemies. So These are the 4 ones that I choose to run, although you would be perfectly fine with taking something like airstrike and laser, for example, which will be really good at also keeping the enemies off your back. Now, in terms of mission type, we're going to be targeting one very specific mission. We're not going to be playing all of them. There's one specific mission that you're looking for, and again, you can do this on any difficulty. Do it on the most difficult, like for example the footage that you're seeing in the background is helldive, because that's going to give you the most amount of these resources. But if you are struggling, of course, lowering the difficulty does decrease the yield that you get, but does make it slightly easier for you as well. So maybe use that to practice up, and then when you're good to go, then start hitting those high numbers. But blitz, search and destroy is what you want, which means that in 12 minutes you have to kill or blow up a certain amount of bug holes. It's usually 9 or 11, or in some cases it goes all the way up to 12 or 13. But as soon as you deploy onto the planet, you have 12 minutes to seek these bug holes out. To start moving around, sometimes you'll have one of these which is in an area where you have super bad visibility, but since you've been playing the game for a while, you shouldn't have that hard a time finding these bug holes. You can generally just look across the landscape and you can sort of figure out where you will find these, since the rock formations that are around these bug holes are relatively easy to spot. Get into these areas, start blowing these bug holes up. The objective here is you're not collecting materials, you're not doing anything like that, because you're not going to be extracting. So don't focus on picking up samples, anything like that. This method, this farm method, is all about requisitions, and it's all about warband medals, which you get if you are successful in the mission. Why I also mentioned super credits at the start is if you come across any super credits that are basically in a crashed ship or something like that, you can absolutely pick that up, because that automatically gets added to your account and you don't have to successfully extract to keep those. So that's good. If you see some and you got the time, go get them. Nonetheless, work your way through these bug holes, blow them all up, and as soon as you've gotten the last bug hole required, you will get the mission accomplished sign. Now, at this point in time, you've done everything that you need to do, and now you can simply just let the bugs have their way with you, killing you and depleting all of your redeployments. As soon as your redeployments have been depleted, you will fail the mission and essentially go back to your ship. But since you accomplished the goal, it will be a mission success, and it will reward you with the amount of requisitions depending on your difficulty. Now, as you can see here, I'm getting a huge amount, and by doing it this way, you're looking at, let's say, every 8 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes, you're making between 5 and 6k requisitions, plus everything else that comes along with it. So this can be super lucrative, and it's going to allow you to really fly through those stratagems and unlock them as fast as possible. The best thing I like about this as well is that it's not actually ruining the progress on the planet, plus you're also not spoiling it for anybody else, because you're doing this solo, and it is something that you can just spend a couple of hours on and just rack up like a huge amount of requisitions. And that's going to be it for the video. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it this far. Let me know in the comments down below how you are farming your requisitions and everything right now. I have a similar video to this coming out where I will explain how to farm samples and how I do that, which I also do solo at the hardest difficulty. It's just a little bit more difficult, but those ones are of course what we need to be able to unlock the ship upgrades. That being said, I want to give 2 things a shout out in this video. The first one being that I have a Discord, which is listed in the description of this video. On that Discord, there's a bunch of people playing Helldivers 2 right now. So if you're looking for some squad mates, there's a looking for group area on the Discord, and there's a bunch of people playing this game right now. So it might be a way for you to find some buddies to play with. Secondly, I want to mention the streams. I stream on Kick exclusively every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday in the evenings. I'm currently playing a lot of Helldivers 2, but I play a whole bunch of other games. So if you want to hang out with your boy and just come kick it with a bunch of awesome people, we'd love to have you. Other than that, it's just super important to me that you have a fantastic morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Till next video, fucking cheers.